Okay, so we are going to continue with the course. We are going to finish it. And now we are going to talk about users and groups. This is a very important part in OpenNebula, all the management of the users and group. And we are going to start with permissions. So first of all, you have to make all the resources we have created previously, the virtual network, the images, etc., available for all users. So in OpenNebula there is a permission management systems, the same as in any Unix system. So we have the use permission. It can be in the owner, group, and other. The manage permission to manage the resource, update it, etc. And the admin permissions. So you have to go to images and template and click on group and other. So all the people in the cloud can use these resources. You can do it on Sandstone or you can do it the CLI. You have the three commands. chown, chgroup, and chmod as in any Unix system. So you have to go to Sandstone, you go to templates, and here you have the permission management. So you just have to make a use for other and group. And then you go to images, storage images, and again, this is the same for all the resources. So you click on use group and use other. Also, you can okay, so I will give you 1 minute to do this because we need this to create new user and group and be able to instantiate the template. You can use also the ACLs. You can create rules that apply to just one user or one group and resources. But in this course we are not going to see this, but okay, so now we are going to make some hands-ons to create a group and users and a group admin. So first of all, you have to create a group. To manage all these things, you have to go to System tab and then Groups. As I said before, there are two default groups, the one admin and the users. In one admin, there are two users, as we can see here. One admin, which is the main admin of the OpenNebula Cloud, and server admin, which is the user that Sandstone used to communicate with OpenNebula. And then we have the users groups. In this case, this group is empty, but you can, when you create a new user, by default, it's added to this group. And then you can change the group to another new group you have created. Okay, so first of all, create a group. So to create a group, you go here. Here you put the name of the group. In this case, is students. Here you can configure the default views for the user. You don't have to touch anything, but here is the default view. In this case, all the users in this group will have the cloud view as default, and this is the default admin view. In this case, will be the group admin view. You can change it to cloud or group admin. And here you can change the advanced layout. Imagine this group, you want that they have the admin view. So you click here for users or for group admins. Here you create an admin. So you are going to create an admin called students admin and the password whatever you want. here you can check the permissions. So this group will be allowed to use VMs, security groups, virtual routers, images, template, and documents. Documents are the templates for the services. They are called documents. And in system, you can configure if you want that the images are persistent by default. A persistent image is an image that can only be used by one VM at a time because all the changes will be persistent in the future. So, and then the save as. If you want that the save as is and clone are persistent or not by default. Okay, and remember, every time you create a group, the group is added to the default VDC. So if we check it, there is a VDC by default with all the resources in the cloud. We can see here all clusters. It should have all hosts, all VNets, and all data stores. Okay, and here the group. All the groups are added automatically to this VDC. Okay, so now create the group, and after that we are going to check the ACLs that are automatically created. So first of all, create it. Okay, so after you create the group, here you can see the info as every resource in OpenNebula, the ID, the name, the default views. Here you can see the users. In your case, you will only have a student admin. Then we will create a student. Here you can set quotas. Quotas are limit for the group and for the users in the group. So for example, in this case there are no quotas, but you can edit them and say, okay, this group can only have 2 VMs. So you set it, and in the group, as you can see, there is just 1 VM, and if we create another VM, we won't be able to create more because there is a quota of 2 VMs. There are quotas for running VMs 2, CPU, running CPU, etc. In accounting, we can get the accounting, the hours of the VMs, of CPU, memory, disks, and in showback, in this case, we don't have showback because we didn't put a cost for the resources. But if you put a cost when you create the template, it will generate a showback here. Okay, so now we are going to check the ACLs. When we create a group, by default, some ACLs are created. As you can see here, these are the ACLs, group student. So these ACLs allow to the group to create. Here you have the operation, create, virtual machine, images, virtual template, documents, security groups, and virtual routers in all zones. Okay, so we can define rules for each resource, for each zone, and for each user. Users in this group can use data stores, virtual networks, and manage host. We need manage permissions to host in order to dispatch and deploy VMs to there. We can also check the ACLs here. This is the same as for Samsung. Here you have the ID for each rule. Here you have the user that applies this ACL. If you see this symbol, it means group, so group number 1, group number 100, and if you see the hashtag symbol, it means a user with ID 2. Here you have the resources, so virtual machine, host, nets, etc. Here you have the resource ID. Here the permission, use, manage, admin, and create. And here the zone. So in our case, we only have just one zone. So it doesn't matter if you put hashtag 0 or the other symbol. Okay, but remember, when you create a group, default ACLs are created. And then you can define your own ACL. You just select the user or group, their resources, the ID of the resources, and the operation. And if you click, you are going to see down the string of the ACL. So it's created, for example, as we are writing. Okay, you can see here the string. So you can define the ACL here or in the generate the string by yourself and then use the CLI. Okay, so now we are going to see the VDC. I talked already about them. So a VDC is a virtual data center. It's a group of virtual resources. So the resources are groups, host, clusters, virtual network, and data store. So let's update it. We can edit each group. As you can see, both groups are in this VDC. One admin group, no, because it's a special group, so it's in all the VDCs. And then we can select the resources. So in this case, because we add all the clusters, automatically all the resources are added to the VDC. But imagine you just want to add one host to the VDC, so you select one host. If you update, in resources, you will see just the host and anything else. What is the most powerful thing about this? Imagine you have two hosts in this case, and you create two data centers. The scheduler will only dispatch VMs to the host which is in your data center. So there are like separated things. So you can group your user and your resources in different VDC. So you can organize your cloud and the permissions in your cloud. And now we are going to check the OpenNebula views. We checked it before, but now we are going to go deeper. So we are going to log in with the group admin. In this case is students admin and the pass. I don't remember password. Oh yes. This is the things that a group admin see. So as you can see here, only see the virtual machines running or pending or failed, the users and groups in the systems, and the quotas. You can see we set a quotas of VMs to 2. So as you can see here, that quotas, and the CPU and memory has no quotas limit. And here, as we saw before, there are limit things like all the related with the group. So if he can manage the group, and he can create a new users to his group. So there he can create any user he wants. So for users, you need to specify the username, the password, and then the main and secondary group. Okay. If you choose the default, it will add it to the student group, which is the default for this admin. Okay, so now we are going to make a hands-on. You are going to log in with a student admin. You are going to create a student. You can put the name and the password you want, and you are going to change the quotas. Remember, to change the quotas, you have to click on the user, in this case the student you create, and go to quotas. So you edit, And you can change this or running or whatever you want. In this case, you are going to put two in VMs, okay? And when you change it, you click on apply, and the quota will be changed. You can also check it's in the CLI. You make here you can see the quotas. In this case, we have a VM quotas 1, 2, okay? And again, you can check the XML format. So here you can see all the system quotas, all the VM quotas. There are quotas for images, there are quotas for data store, etc. So quotas are very powerful. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do this, and then we are going to see the effect that this takes in the student user. Okay, so now we are going to see the last view, which is the cloud view. So we are going to log in as a student. And as you can see, this is the cloud view for a user. It can see the virtual machines running or deploying in the cloud, again the quotas, their VMs, and templates and services. Okay, so you have to log in as a student. Then you are going to instantiate a new VM. So you have to go to the VMs tab and click on Add button. So you select the template and you click on Create. And then you have to explore some actions. So you can power off a VM. For do that, you go to the VM as the same as in the admin view. You click on Power Off button. Then you can save the VM. There is a save button there. When you power off the VM, you will be able to save it. And when you save the VM, you can switch to an admin account and see that there is a new template and a new image. Okay? And that's all. So I will give you a couple of minutes and we will do that. Also, if you want to create a VM in the CLI with another user, you can use the command and the option --dash user. So you specify the user, and this action will be do by this user. Or you can change the whole CLI login to the user by changing the OneOut file, and that's all. So I will give you a couple of minutes and then we will do it together. Okay, so we are going to power off the VM as a student. Okay, the VM is powering off. We have to wait until it's in shutdown state. Okay, it's off. Now we can save the VM. So we can put a name and a description. In this case, we are going to put student test. Okay, I forgot to give a use permission on data store. I'm going to do it. So we go storage, data source, and okay, so the VM template was successfully saved. Now if we go here, we can see that there is a new template we just created, and if we log in as a one admin, you will see that here the student test, which is the new template, and here you can see the permission, and here you can see the owner and the group of the owner. So the owner is a student and the owner group is a student. And also if you go to storage images, you can see that there is a new image. Oh my god. There is a new image, which is the image for that template, which is the image in the moment that we made the save. Okay, and I think that's all. And well, this is the accounting with I saw we did before, but if you go to system groups, you click on the student and you go to the account tab. Oh god, it's too slow. And you can see here the usage of the cloud each user. Okay. And we have finished. These are other features that are available in OpenNebula. So federation, Michael told you about that. You can have multiple OpenNebula instances and federate them. The scheduler is a separate process from the 1D daemon. So you can create new scheduling policies, or you can use another scheduler made by you, because there are separated process. The one gate, which is used by virtual machines to communicate with OpenNebula. The app market, you can create your own marketplace, and you can deliver your own appliance to your customers. The cloud bursting, which is you can scale your cloud with public resources. We support EC2 and Azure, but you can create your own drivers. The same as always, you have to activate it on the 1D-conf and create all the files. V1 Cloud, which is a special appliance which only have the vCenter related things, and you can control your VMware cloud with this. And that's all. I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me or send me an email, and I'm in the forum too, so feel free to ask. Thank you.